can feel it down in my plums. When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in.
Well, welcome back to Let the Boys Watch, an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Great Productions. I'm one of your co-hosts. My name is Robbie, and today we are back with our YouTube exclusive mini episode where we'll spend the next 15-30 minutes discussing the Hulu series The Bear, Season 3, Episode 1 tomorrow, and Episode 2 next. The Bear stars, forget about it, Jeremy Allen White, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, Edebiri, I hope I said that right, Lionel Boyce, Abby Elliott, Matty Matheson, Liza, Colón-Zayas, and Oliver Platt. Alongside me is my teddy bear, the cousin Benny. How you doing?
Ryan, can you please tell Robbie to go F himself?
Robbie, can you please tell Benny he can go F himself?
Chef Ryan, can you please tell Chef Benny to go scratch?
You go scratch.
Oh, you go scratch.
Tables look like someone who's never been out of Chicago. I don't know why I got to bring Chicago into it.
And alongside the cousin I is our very own computer, our good friend and co-host Ryan. How we doing?
Good. I love we're getting into other episodes, but that was a very nice compliment. Thank you.
You're welcome. I had no idea who that was until I looked it up.
Yeah, love him.
Lost some weight. Good for him.
Good for him. It's good to see. So yeah, follow us on all the things. If you're watching this on YouTube, please, subscribe, leave some comments, send us an email, whatever. Find us on Instagram.
Everybody's always talking about clicking a bell. Click that bell.
What does the bell even do? I don't even know.
It notifies
Subscribe.
you, but yeah,
Squeeze.
Whatever. So, like Robbie said, we're going to be talking about episodes 1 and 2 of season 3 of The Bear. Let's just get into it. What do you guys think? I want to start with Robbie because I'm very curious about what he thought about these 2 episodes.
I was obviously intrigued to get the Bear back. I think it was a quick turnaround. Yeah. Was I worried that the quick turnaround was gonna maybe lack with the writing or the episodes in general? But I talked about this on Going Great, no free ads, but I loved episode 1. I thought the way it was shot, obviously if you know me again, I love an Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor production, and a 30-minute kind of montage with limited speech and limited dialogue and just a fantastic soundtrack in the background. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I loved the cuts and the edits of the episode. I thought the pacing was great. I think Ryan, we discussed it. I didn't really find it difficult to follow along. Maybe some people did. I know a few people that I know did find it a little difficult and didn't really understand it. But no, I loved it. I loved the cameos. I loved Chef Daniel from the world famous Daniel in the City. I love seeing the chef from Nomad. That was fantastic. That was enjoyable. And then again, Joel McHale as the Dick Chef was out of this world. I love seeing him because he plays such a good character. But no, episode 1 really was, I think, no BS, probably one of my favorite episodes in the entire series. I thought it was well done and executed perfectly, and shows you who Carmy really is as a person. We've known who he was for 3 seasons now, but this really showed you his his kind of career trajectory and his path to becoming who he is as a chef. So yeah, episode 1, man, I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
What did you think about 2?
2? Oh, please. It got back to, typical Bear stuff, the craziness, the fast-paced dialogue, the dynamic between Carmy and I can't forget his name. What the hell's his name?
Richie.
Richie, cousin. I mean, it's just everything you want in the bear. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first episode, but I loved it nonetheless. I love that dynamic in the kitchen. I think Kami's out of his mind just with his non-negotiables and a new meal every single day. I mean, I think that's suicidal. I don't think that's a fantastic business model, but I love the other characters. I mean, the facts. I mean, they have made me LOL so much this season, and I just enjoyed Matty Matheson. I think he's fantastic, and I think he's such a good integral role in this series. Sugar's the best. I love everything about her. I think she brings such a great dynamic to this show as well. Also dealing with her little trauma, but no, I just enjoyed the entire pacing of season 2 as well. I just enjoyed the cut of different dates in the days of the restaurant and what kind of brought about, different kind of change, different day. Again, the non-negotiables, that's just Kami trying to make this restaurant crazy and get a couple Michelin stars. I mean, me and the cuz love on Michelin stars, but I mean, it's suicidal. This episode kind of lets you know how crazy and insane Kami is on his pursuit of perfection, or just kind of his pursuit to kind of just, I don't know, maybe perfect himself. That's a work in progress, but I did enjoy these first 2 episodes. It really is the epitome of what the bear is about.
Matty?
I was a little nervous going in because, I famously try to avoid any type of spoiler, any type of review, any type of anything. But the only thing I was seeing online were bad things about the bear. And I was like, oh man, like it kind of sucks going into it with that mindset. But once I was halfway through the first episode, I'm like, this is great. I loved, like Robbie said, all the cameos and him going between, those the 3 big restaurants that were, or I guess even a 4th, um, that were a major influence on him. I thought it was shot amazing. There were some things I was like, man, how long did it take him to film just this episode? Because it must have been a crazy amount of time and effort to pull that off. I mean, I know I'm sure some of it was done with just sets, but it seemed like a lot of stuff was on location. Obviously, the stuff at Noma, in Daniel, French Laundry. I think that probably what they could have got away with because they really didn't see anything from the area surrounding it. But I thought it was a cool way to. We've gotten kind of those episodes, those kind of like standalone episodes in every season, but to start this season with one was really cool. And I loved the second episode too. I love anything that's kind of like a one shot or like a one take where it's just all in one specific location. And, obviously there were cuts and stuff like that, but uh, that's kind of my favorite thing. Like if you can almost you have the script and the performances to bank on for that episode. And after being so heavy into the locations, cutting between different places and different things in the first episode, to then going to an episode that only takes place in the kitchen in season 2, and I think they nailed both of them. I just thought it was a great way to start the season.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, I think I could see how episode 1, not confusing, but like wouldn't people watching would be like, wait, where was that? Like, so if you went into the season and didn't remember, seasons 1 and 2, or maybe didn't rewatch anything or watch like a good recap or something, I could totally see how episode 1 would be like, wait, where was this? When was this one? Why is that important, etc. But I loved it. I mean, I didn't rewatch everything, but I rewatched a couple of episodes here and there, so I was pretty fresh on like where they left off. And I mean, you guys already kind of said everything, but like the score, Robbie, as soon as I saw it was Reznor and Ross, I was like, this is gonna be fantastic. And
My
like the
pants
way
are
they
off.
did it, yeah, like yeah, I knew, and it was so good. the music with the, cuts back and forth. Like it just was like you were peering into Carmi's mind when he was sitting there in the kitchen doing stuff. And it wasn't just things at the restaurants. They were, flashing other things. Like they were showing, the funeral that he didn't really go to and stuff like that. So loved it. I loved episode 1. I think I remember I was looking at some ratings and I'm pretty sure episode 1 was rated much higher. I think this show is getting brigaded a little bit on, at least on IMDb. I don't know about Rotten Tomatoes. I think Rotten Tomatoes was like kind of like sort of low, a little bit low ratings wise. But I loved it. I loved episode 1 and I loved episode 2 as well. Definitely different. I loved how episode 2 opened up with all the different locations in Chicago, showing everyone working and doing all that stuff. I love when they do those kind of things. Showing the city, showing the different people. And I feel like that's what makes this show so great. And, anyone that's worked in a restaurant before, it just hits home. Like I'm very happy that it's back. Yeah. Episode 1 was fantastic. Fantastic. I loved it so much. And episode 2 was also very, very good, but I liked 1 better.
I just the argument in 2 just felt so real to me.
So
and I think
real.
that's why I enjoyed it so much.
That's totally like an argument you have with someone that you love, but that you're so mad at. And it's also, is it like arguments get childish and like, doing the Sid, tell Carmi this and that. Like, that was so funny. But like, and then it was funny how cousin Richie went a little low, a little below the belt with talking about Claire. And it was kind of like everyone's like, oh. And then
And
when
just
Mark, go ahead.
yeah. No, go ahead. Please take it.
I
That's
was
what
just
I
gonna
was gonna
say, and then like, but they know they still care about each other, but they care about everyone in their group. Because when Marcus walks in, argument over for now, and like, let's just, how's Marcus? And he was just like, I'm cool. I just want to work.
Yeah. My main takeaway from that, how it ends, is I feel like they're clearly setting Carmi up as the heel going forward, or just like, you're rooting for him, but is he really like, is he good for these people? Because it seems like he's starting to spiral a little bit. And is he going to take some people down with him? And then you have Marcus, who is feeding into it because he just wants to focus his energy on something else. And he's like, he looks at the list of non-negotiables and he's like, no, this is what I need right now, because this is going to take 1,000,000% effort and it's going to distract me from what I have going on.
Yeah. That list is, Robbie, I think you brought it up about the changing the menu every night.
That gave me so much anxiety.
Crazy.
It gives me anxiety. It gives me anxiety when he's just throwing away food.
Oh.
That's insane to me. Just the amount of overhead and how much money he's probably losing by doing that. It's just crazy for me. But quickly, like what you said, the interactions between Carmi and Richie. I mean, I'm gonna read one. I think which says Richie says, let's get some work done. And then Carmi says, I actually agree. And then Richie goes, well, then I actually take it back. And I mean,
Yeah.
things like that. That's just some petty shit that I would do in an argument or something like that. So, I mean, it's so really interaction. But like you said, I mean, the both of them have so much love for each other. You can't really stay mad at each other. You can try and you can throw some petty jabs and some BS like that and act like like some children. But their dynamic is so good. But yeah, the menu's changing every night, and the way, like Benny said, call me a spiral, and I do think that it's setting the season up for him to be the failure of something that's bigger and something that's about to happen to the restaurant, or just to some people potentially maybe like hitting the bricks and saying, I can't do this no more. It's just too much for me. and venturing out on their own.
You're trying to put together a Michelin star menu every single night with people that were making beef sandwiches like
Right?
a couple months ago. And it's like that's where it's like I get what you're going for, but you don't have the
The
staff to pull that
staff.
off right now. They've all done very well and they've learned from you, but to now say, okay, we are going to change the menu to something Michelin star level every night is just wild.
Wild. And they even have, they said, I think in early on in episode 2 that a bunch of staff quit because they were just like, this place is dysfunctional.
Yeah, all the servers quit.
Right. Yeah, because that as a server, you have to remember or learn a new dish or new however many dishes every single night. Like that's crazy.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And it's what I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's up to, what he's thinking, what he's trying to do. I mean, I kind of do, but like I just hope at some point someone punches him in the face or slaps him and it's just like, what are you doing, man? This
Yeah.
list of non-negotiables is ridiculous.
It's crazy because I don't know who that person could possibly be at this
Right.
point.
Because if it
Like
comes from Richie, he's gonna be like, F
you don't know what
you.
you're talking about.
If it comes from Sid, he's gonna be like, yeah, good idea, but I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah.
Because that's whatever. And who else is there? Maybe Marcus could come to him like, or
But I don't think Marcus is in the spot for that
no, and he's
at this point.
probably not. Sugar, maybe.
Maybe. But
Maybe,
I feel
but I
like
feel like he doesn't listen to anybody.
no, and I
Right.
feel like Sugar is gonna have to take a step back at some point because she's gonna have this kid, and she's gonna have to take care of the kid, so she's gonna be out of the picture for a little bit. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm interested to see where this is going.
Maybe the fact.
Oh, please give me a fact spinoff right now. I need it in my life.
Meet the Fackers.
Oh my God. What a fantastic dynamic those two guys are. Just out of this world. Hilarious. It really brings so much levity to the show. I mean, with so much of the anxious, anxiety-ridden scenes. I mean, those two are just, I don't know, swell. I think they both, the lights were flickering, everybody thought they were having a stroke. I mean, that was hilarious. It's
Yeah.
just so good. It really is. I'm just, I don't know. I haven't, what am I on? I think I'm on episode 6. I really haven't been like, oh man, what a disappointment. So I don't know where, I haven't read any kind of review, so I don't know where that's coming from, but I don't know. I don't know what people are trying to expect. So I don't know.
I saw a couple of titles of articles alluding to that it just wasn't good this season, and then the main one I saw, I was like, we have to talk about how The Bear is a bad show. And I was like, oh boy, all right. So I don't know if it's hitting that area now where it's punctured so far into like pop culture and like mainstream where there's going to just be detractors for it. So that's what I'm hoping. I mean, I've still only watched the first 2 episodes, so from what I've seen, I'm all in. I'm ready to go. It's going to be a struggle to kind of keep only watching like 2 episodes a week. I think I'm going to try to keep myself fresh for these little quick hitters we're doing here. But I don't know how happy I is going to be with that, but I'm liking it so far.
Yeah,
Quick hitters.
I mean, I'm done. So, my biggest concern right now is like to not jump ahead because
Right. And that's
we
kind
all
of
know
why
I'm a
I only
spoiler.
want yeah, that's kind of why I only want to watch the 2 per week because I want to be able to keep you in check.
Please, someone
Please keep
needs
the
to.
fucking guy in check. Stevie spoils over here.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else about either one of these 2 episodes?
I'm ready. I love the direction in these shows. I love that they're,
Love
since the beginning, even when it wasn't original music, the music that they always bring to these episodes is so good. I love the realness, how, real and anxiety inducing all this stuff is, and how it makes me want to go back into the food service industry, but at the same time being like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, no. I do miss it, actually,
Yeah, me
sometimes.
too.
But
But
no,
also no.
also no.
I just want to quickly shout out again another show. I don't think I've been annoyed by any actors in this show. I think it's well written. I think it's well acted. I think everybody's great in the parts that they play. Um, Shout out Albert Platt. I think he's
He's the
fantastic.
best.
He really is fantastic in this entire series. Um, Love the Mulaney callback in episode 1. Love to see him in it. That was great. You smell, I forgot what he said.
Like a barn or
Yeah.
a donkey. It's more like a
Donkey.
It's like
donkey.
a donkey.
Spraying
Yeah.
the air freshener.
Yeah.
I do hope we get another Claire Booty shot this season. I don't know if that's gonna happen. But I don't know. I think Kami's got a lot of demons, so I don't know where he's headed. But you know, after the first trip, so I don't know if it's anywhere good, but we'll see. He always seems to. Nah, actually, he doesn't really seem to redeem himself. He kind of fucked himself last season in this season finale. So what am I talking about?
Yeah, I mean, he completely did not learn his lesson from the freezer incident. He just went the complete opposite way.
Yeah, I think he just loves to, to be on a path of self-sabotage. And I think that's the only thing that kind of makes him feel normal or, you know, just by doing that, he doesn't have to face the other demons or the other thoughts in his head if he's able to just focus on this. Maybe that's why he's changing the menu every fucking day. So he doesn't have to think about anything where he can just think about what's next or, what dish am I going to come up with today? Who knows? Maybe him fixing the flower arrangement and table seating is just a distraction so he doesn't have to face his actual demons.
Agreed.
I was one thing I did want to mention is when he comes in and sees the table has like the glass and the ashtray on it. Smoking in a closed restaurant
Oh, the
after
best.
everyone, the best.
The best.
Used to be my face. As soon as the doors were locked,
Yeah.
light it up.
Light one up for the boys.
Yeah.
And they can quickly they can play that. I think it was that Eddie Vedder song in the beginning of season episode 2. I don't know if it was like an acoustic version or a live version, but give me that every single episode and I'm all in. I mean
As like
the music,
intro.
yeah, the music choices in the show as
Oh,
well
good.
is second to none.
Agree. Anything else to say about episodes 1 and 2?
I think we finally managed to keep it quick.
Well, I just have a few more things now.
Go ahead, please. We got all I got is time.
Yeah. Let's go.
I guess
We all
I'll-
got
what-
off tomorrow. Let's go.
Yeah, what do you think best pairs with a Radicchio?
All right. Well, yeah. Just a quick thing. We're not getting too deep into these 2 episodes. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about episodes 3 and 4. Subscribe. I don't know, all that fun stuff. We love you. Do we tell them good night after these, or what are we doing here?
Tell him good night.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robbie, tell them good night.
Hey, good night, Kami. Take us
Good
there.
night.
Bear.
Good night, cousin.
Hey, good night, cousin. Hey, Ryan.
Yes.
Tell cousin I said good night.
Down in my
All right,
blood
Robbie.
lungs.
Tell Ryan. No, wait. Fuck, I fucked it up.
When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in. My wife says, "No, Gabriel, leave." I said, "No, let the boy watch. Let the boy watch. He needs to learn the way I learned from my father, the way he